After a drunken night with my childhood friend, we made a pact to pretend nothing happened. But I couldn't shake the memory of that night. Could I actually be falling for Ethan? The guy was annoyingly irresistible. My distracted state frustrated my queen bee best friend Emily, who booked 10 male models at the bar for me. "You're just touch-starved after 26 years of celibacy," she insisted. Mid-revelry, Ethan appeared. He dragged me into a dim alley, his tailored slacks brushing against my thighs as he growled, "Am I not enough for you?" Chapter 1. Morning. Sleeping Beauty. Ethan propped himself on one elbow, amusement dancing in his sleep-rumpled glory. My memory flooded back as I peeked under the sheets. Yep. Completely naked. Maintaining my 26-year virgin dignity. I nodded coolly. His smirk deepened as I dressed under the covers. My legs betrayed me when standing, nearly sending me into an accidental New Year's bow. His muscular arm caught me mid-fall, our skin reigniting last night's electricity. I shoved him away. "Sophie?" His uncharacteristically tender tone startled me. Since when did my lifelong rival call me Sophie? We'd wrestled over lollipops and later. Pride never tenderness. Now shirtless with morning light gilding his abs. He looked different. Alarmingly attractive. I backpedaled, my aching body protesting. "Breathe a word of this and you're dead," I threatened. His laugh revealed that infuriating dimple. "My reputation's at stake too, princess." As he pulled his t-shirt on with that maddening grace, I shot back. "Snitches get stitches." I limped home leaning against every wall en route. Emily came hunting when I missed our shopping date, catching me sneaking in with walk of shame hair. Our stare down could have frozen hell. She gaped at me like I'd just descended from a UFO, dramatically ripping off her sunglasses. I pretended to calmly open the door though my jelly legs nearly gave out, collapsing face first onto the couch the moment I entered. "That Ethan. He's basically a walking hard-on." Emily yanked me upright with a knowing smirk. "So my disheveled appearance told the whole story, hair like I'd stuck my finger in a light socket. Looking every bit the walk of shame cliché. No point hiding from this seasoned veteran. Ethan and I hooked up." I confessed. Damn alcohol, humanity's worst enemy. The same guy I usually trash talk suddenly became Adonis incarnate after 3 margaritas. Especially when that button-down revealed 8 washboard abs. Last night it felt like actual granite. Emily's eyes lit up. "You? With Ethan?" Her disbelief sparked competitive irritation. Avoiding eye contact, I doubled down on my nonchalant act. "We're adults. This is normal adult behavior." "Normal?" she snorted. "Coming from a 26-year-old virgin? He's worse," I countered. That pretentious neat freak with his impossible standards, what woman would ever date him seriously? Emily's shoulders shook with suppressed laughter. "Are you saying he wrecked you on the first try?" Not the point. Though technically accurate. Ethan's performance had been unexpectedly stellar. From fumbling beginnings to shockingly competent finishes. Even through tequila-induced haze, I'd felt every electrifying second. The man operated like a damn overachiever. Wait, do people actually go all night? My body felt reassembled with duct tape and prayers. Hugging a throw pillow, I flushed remembering certain positions. Emily finally asked the million-dollar question, "Sophie, did you guys use protection?" I froze. Rookie mistake. Did we? The critical detail lost in tequila fog. Only Ethan would know. After Emily left, I soaked in the tub staring at our text thread, still displaying my last message frowny face whoever bails is a little bitch. How do you segue from that to, did we use condoms last night? Frustrated, I kicked my sheets until my abused lower back protested. The phone rang as I lay whimpering. Ethan calling. Oh God, was he calling to ask the same thing? I took a few deep breaths, answered the call, and charged ahead before he could speak. Did we use protection last night? I demanded. too prideful to let Ethan seize the upper hand. The line went silent for a beat before his gritted response came through. Sophia, you want to discuss this? Damn right. I drawled, leaning into the nonchalant act. We're adults. What happened? Happened, but safety first. Used them. His icy reply made my grip tighten on the phone. A whole box. A whole box? That absolute bastard. I bit my tongue hard. The smirk in his voice returned full force. Anything else? I remember every detail. I stabbed the end call button. The memory flooded back anyway, Ethan's darkened gaze. The sweat-slicked rhythm of his hips. His choked gasps against my neck. My face burned as I stared at dawn's first light bleeding through the curtains. When I finally called Emily, my voice cracked. What if I'm into Ethan? The horrified silence stretched before she exploded. The same Ethan who called your prom dress trailer park chic? Who photoshopped your yearbook picture into a meme? I know. It's insane. I wailed into my pillow. But he's built like a Greek god now? Emily, relax. Her retail therapy voice kicked in. We'll figure this out over Monty Python. At the mall. My zombie-like "that's cute" responses finally broke her. She thrust a sequined tutu at me. Sophie. This is from the toddler section. Just tell me what to do. I groaned. Simple. She snapped a selfie with the tutu. Seduce him. Make him obsessed. Then ghost him. Poetic justice. My latte nearly went airborne. Are you? Or? She grinned, swiping the drink from my trembling hand. You could admit you've been in love since he shoved that Oreo up your nose in second grade. The truth hit like a freight train. 20 years of stolen lunches. Locker pranks. And that time he'd carried me piggyback through a snowstorm after I'd mocked his clown shoes snow boots. The way my stomach flipped when he'd absent-mindedly fixed my scarf last Christmas. Worse. I whispered. What if I want to keep him? Emily's phone pinged with my text to Ethan frowny face 8 p.m. Your place. Bring more Oreos. Her cackle echoed through the food court. Atta girl. Now let's find you a dress that says I hate you and take me now. How could that be possible? Since childhood, Sophia and Ethan had always been rivals. I still remember how he mocked me in middle school when I scored 40 on a math test, sneering that my poor brain shouldn't drag down his IQ. If he ever discovered my feelings for him, he'd crucify me with sarcasm. Shaking my head, I feigned seriousness. No way. Absolutely not. Emily smirked knowingly after hearing this. She tapped my forehead with her manicured finger, her words casting an inexplicable spell. You're just touch-starved after being single too long. Maybe you don't actually like Ethan at all. Her grin turned mischievous as she dragged me into a boutique, holding up a backless mini dress against me. Tonight, I'm expanding your horizons. At Twilight Bar, I kept tugging at my scandalously short hemline while Emily summoned 10 male models. They lined up before us, broad shoulders, tapered waists, endless legs stretching to eternity. Was this what I'd been missing out on? Had I been living like a nun? Pick your favorites. Emily purred. When I froze, she took charge. You two, get her drinks. These two, play some games. The rest stay right here for eye candy. She slapped away my fidgeting hands, hiking my dress higher. Male model number 1 pressed a cocktail to my lips as the bass throbbed through my veins. The room spun after several drinks, Ethan's mocking face fading from memory. Male model number 2 leaned closer during the cookie game, his lips inches from mine when suddenly, calloused fingers pinched my mouth shut. A black pinky ring glinted in the strobe lights. My blood turned to ice. Ethan loomed behind the booth, his hand sliding from my lips into my hair, tilting my face upward. Multicolored lights exploded like fireworks in his stormy eyes as he breathed against my ear. Sophia. Grown bold lately? His grip tightened as I squirmed, effortlessly dragging me outside. Cold night air slapped my face as he cornered me in an alley, thumb smearing my lipstick while his designer slacks rubbed against my bare thighs. "Am I not enough for you?" he growled, mouth hovering dangerously close. Memories of that night flooded back, his lips, his hands, the way I turned away. But Ethan trapped me against the brick wall. "Answer me." His knee pressed between my legs, designer wool scratching sensitive skin. When I finally choked out, "You're average," his laugh made my stomach drop. That venomous smirk told me I'd crossed a line there was no coming back from. The next second, Ethan shrugged off his suit jacket, wrapped it around my waist, and effortlessly lifted me into his sports car with one arm. His broad frame blocked the doorway as he leaned in to fasten my seatbelt. The door slammed shut before I could process it. By the time I fumbled with the buckle, the locks clicked. He'd already slid into the driver's seat. He turned with smoldering intensity. "I'm not sure what you'd consider average." His thumb brushed his lower lip. "Maybe you should help me recalibrate." When the car stopped in the garage, I yanked uselessly at the door handle. Damn his obnoxious habit of switching luxury vehicles every other week. I couldn't even figure out how to exit this overpriced death trap. Emily's latest text blinked on my phone screen, frowny face. "If Ethan's this protective, he's totally into you. Need assistance?" His breath warmed my neck as he reached across to release the child lock. Our faces hovered inches apart, his dilated pupils reflecting my flushed cheeks. His Adam's apple bobbed. "May I?" The question dissolved against my lips. What began as tentative exploration exploded into wildfire, his mouth claiming mine with relentless precision. When I gasped for air, he tangled our fingers above my head. "Sophie," he murmured against the corner of my mouth. "Don't hold back." We barely made it through his penthouse door. He carried me straight to the California King, designer dress shirt straining across his shoulders. "Tell me," he growled, hiking my skirt as we tumbled onto silk sheets. "Does this feel average to you?" Morning light striped the rumpled duvet. I studied Ethan's sleeping form, the absurdly long lashes, the faint stubble shadowing his jaw. My fingertip hovered millimeters from his parted lips before I snatched it back. 20 minutes later, I slipped into a lift wearing yesterday's wrinkled blouse. Emily's texts bombarded my lock screen, frowny face. "Girl, you alive? Spill the tea." "I'm telling you, that man's whipped." Resting my forehead against the cool window, I replayed his sleep-roughened vow, "I'll take responsibility." Even I knew better than to trust bedroom promises. Ethan didn't date firecrackers like me. I'd heard him say it himself at last year's charity gala. His ideal woman was gracious and nurturing. Two adjectives that'd never describe Sophia. Certified hothead and reigning queen of poor life choices. I never learned to speak softly. And I couldn't cheer Ethan up either. How is that possible? After letting Emily know I was safe, I locked myself in the bathroom the moment I got home. The marks on my skin made it impossible to forget Ethan. His joking "I'll take responsibility" had actually made me consider forcing something that wasn't meant to be. Given our family's close ties, if anyone found out about Ethan and me, marriage would have been inevitable. Thankfully, reason prevailed. Ethan didn't love me. Pushing this would only breed resentment and ruin both our futures. Better to pretend it was just adult carelessness everyone could politely ignore. My phone was blowing up outside. I knew exactly who it was. I took my time showering. When I finally checked, the screen confirmed my guess: 12 missed calls from Ethan. What were we now? Childhood friends who'd accidentally slept together? I silenced the device and drew the blackout curtains, plunging the room into darkness save for that glaring rectangle of light. Burying myself under the blankets like an ostrich hiding its head in the sand, I tried ignoring the lump in my throat that felt suspiciously like unshed tears. The doorbell jerked me from fitful sleep. "Coming!" I mumbled, rubbing my eyes as I yanked the door open on autopilot. Ethan stood there vibrating with anger, his stormy gaze pinning me in place. I tried slamming the door, but he easily shouldered through, backing me across the living room until my knees hit the couch. caging me between his arms. He growled. What the hell? Sophia? Shouldn't I be asking you that? His voice held dangerous undertones. 2 times. You keep running after we, he trailed off. Jaw working. Sophia. What exactly am I to you? Adults drink. Things happen. My gaze dropped to his collar. Why make this complicated? Can't we just pretend? His bitter laugh cut me off. So we play friends again? Act like nothing changed? When I remained silent, he stood abruptly, looking down with eyes that flickered between hurt and fury. Last night meant nothing? You feel nothing. The unfinished question hung heavy. Raking a hand through his hair, he exhaled sharply. Fine. Your call. Sophia. Don't come crying later. Without looking back, Ethan walked straight out of my apartment. How could I not regret it? After he left, I lost track of time sitting frozen on the couch until dusk fell. My mom called insisting I come home immediately for an urgent family matter. The heavy atmosphere hit me the moment I entered my parents' house. They sat rigidly on the sofa, their scrutinizing gazes piercing through me. Sophia. My mother began coldly. What exactly have you done to hurt Ethan? Sophia? Ethan? I nearly laughed at their choice of endearments. What are you talking about? I deflected, unease coiling in my stomach. We know everything. My blood ran cold. Had they discovered? Before I could process this, my father continued. Did you break that poor boy's heart after leading him on? As I opened my mouth to protest, Ethan emerged from the bathroom down the hall, eyes suspiciously red-rimmed, lips trembling ever so slightly. Auntie. Uncle. He said hoarsely. Sophie would never, there must be some misunderstanding. His gaze dropped dramatically. But after what happened between us, her pretending nothing occurred, it's just, a single tear traced his cheek. I gaped at his Oscar-worthy performance. He moved closer, breath ghosting my ear as he whispered, I warned you not to regret this. His lips quirking in triumph even as his voice quivered for my parents' benefit. Later, I stood on the balcony muttering he likes me not, while decimating my mother's rosebush. My petal-plucking meditation ended abruptly when called to dinner, where Ethan now sat diligently deboning fish for me. Ethan dear. Mom beamed, watching him serve me like some storybook prince. You must tell me if Sophie misbehaves. This stubborn girl needs proper guidance. I choked on my water. Mom. Ethan's eyes crinkled with performative warmth. Of course. Auntie. She does test my patience sometimes. His thumb brushed mine under the table, the intimate gesture contradicting his wounded dove act. We're not dating. I blurted out. 3 shocked faces turned toward me. Ethan's mask slipped momentarily, revealing sharp amusement. Since when? He challenged, seamlessly resuming his heartbroken expression. Sophie. My parents scolded in unison. You can't treat Ethan this way. Through the chaos, his fingers interlaced with mine beneath the linen, a hidden smirk answering my glare. The game, it seemed, was far from over. My parents chimed in from the side, leaving me tongue-tied despite having a mouth. After dinner, they refused to let us leave. Whatever misunderstanding exists, you two should sort it out tonight. They insisted. The guest room had been converted into Dad's photo development darkroom, leaving only my bedroom available. Ethan feigned reluctance. It's all right, Mrs. Mitchell. I'll crash on the couch. I nodded in agreement, only to receive a warning glare from Mom. Nonsense. Ethan, you'll stay with Sophia. Before I could protest, she shut me down with, it's not like you haven't shared a room before. And so, Ethan and I found ourselves sharing a bed again, the lamplight casting amber shadows across the comforter I pulled up to my nose. Why did you come here? I mumbled. the fabric muffling my voice. And why say those suggestive things to my parents? They think we what? He turned slightly, his gaze steady yet carrying an inscrutable intensity. My pulse quickened under his scrutiny, lips unconsciously catching between my teeth as I forced a nonchalant tone. You made it sound like there's something between us. His eyes didn't waver, voice dropping to seriousness. Twice. Sophie. After everything that's happened between us, you still think this means nothing? A beat. Or is this something you'd do with anyone? The accusation stung. Given my own careless words to him before, I couldn't blame him for thinking me capricious. Heat flooded my cheeks as I averted my eyes. That's not, I didn't mean. Fear choked the rest, fear that complete honesty might destroy even our friendship. Then why avoid me? His relentless questions left me breathless. Defenses crumbling. Tears pricked my eyes as I burrowed deeper into the blankets, torn between self-reproach and resentment toward him. Why complicate things? Weren't we good as friends? The sudden tug of sheets being pulled back froze us both. Moonlight illuminated the tear tracks on my face. And Ethan's expression fractured. The silence stretched until he exhaled roughly, gaze blazing yet steady. Sophie. His voice scraped raw. We stopped being friends a long time ago. I carried Ethan's words home like shattered glass. He'd left immediately after, the roar of his sports car's engine downstairs seeming charged with its owner's emotions. I slipped away before dawn, the inevitable reckoning arriving with weary acceptance. We became ghosts haunting each other's periphery after that. His messages went muted. His social media feeds blurred from my view. Yet the city contracted cruelly, every coffee shop doorway, every crosswalk buzzer, every sunset over the skyline whispered reminders of him. When scrolling through a mutual friend's social media post, Ethan Carter flashed across the screen. Next to him sat a girl I'd never seen before. A pang of jealousy twisted in my chest. The things that happened between us had permanently shattered any possibility of returning to simple friendship. No matter how desperately I tried to rationalize it with absurd excuses. We both needed to move forward. Mountains of work over consecutive days provided temporary distraction. I never expected Ethan would reach out to me again. After late-night overtime, he ambushed me the moment elevator doors opened, wrapping me in his liquor-scented embrace. Sophie, how could you be so heartless? Though his breath carried alcohol, his gaze burned with startling clarity, trapped against his chest. I fought to keep my voice steady. You're drunk, Ethan. He didn't deny it, steering me toward my apartment door with possessive urgency. Drunk? This isn't my first time. Our interlaced fingers triggered the electronic keypad. The moment the door unlocked, he swept me off my feet. His kisses descended like summer rain, lips grazing my earlobe as he murmured, "You never push me away. Sophie, why keep rejecting me?" His free hand tugged at the silk tie, revealing tantalizing muscle definition beneath rumpled cotton. Dazed from the sudden intimacy, I could only stare up at him. The elegant slope from his nose to Cupid's bow softened under warm lighting. Without breaking eye contact, he knelt before me and pressed a faded pink petal into my palm. My fingers trembled as phantom warmth seeped into my skin from both blossom and his touch. "Can't you feel it?" His wounded whisper pinned me in place, the petal burning like live coal against my flesh. "Sophie, you'd rather ask flowers than me." How did he know? My pulse stuttered violently as I met his tender gaze completely sober. The boy who'd playfully wrestled me with mock ferocity now traced my jawline with devastating gentleness. His words fell like sacred vows. "It's always been you." Fireworks exploded behind my eyelids. Ethan liked me? Years of carefully constructed barriers crumbled as our lips collided. My fingers skimmed his sculpted abdomen, drawing a shuddering gasp. "Won't abandon me after this, will you?" His pitiful pout melted my resolve. I shook my head, arms encircling his neck. Never. He swallowed my promise in a searing kiss, our tangled breaths drowning in the symphony of rediscovered hearts. I came to my senses belatedly, gripping Ethan's hand as I spoke through the haze of desire. Wait, we don't have protection at my place. Ethan twisted both my wrists effortlessly behind me, sliding his pinky ring off to slip it onto my left ring finger. The cool metal contrasted sharply with my flushed skin. Marry me, sweetheart? His whiskey-rough voice poured over me like warm honey, thumbs circling the stolen jewelry now claiming my finger. Drunk on his cedarwood cologne and the way his pupils swallowed those storm-gray irises, I nodded before realizing my own consent. The next heartbeat found my back against the doorframe as Ethan stepped into my apartment and my life with the confidence of a conqueror. His assault was thorough. Teeth at my collarbone, calloused palms mapping territory he'd clearly planned to claim. When he finally claimed my lips with fierce possessiveness, the ring bit into my cheekbone like a brand. Later, tangled in sheets that smelled like poor decisions and expensive aftershave, Ethan brushed sweat-damp hair from my face. His arms tightened around me as dawn painted stripes across our nakedness. Sophie, he murmured against my temple, the endearment vibrating through bone and into my traitorous heart. I'm completely yours.